Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to walk you through the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet or the Microsoft Excel workbook, and I will talk about all the basic terms in the Microsoft Excel workbook, and I will cover the menu options as well. So when you start working in a Microsoft Excel, you feel comfortable. So let's get started. But before that, if you are first time on my channel and you haven't subscribed my channel yet, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I upload the Microsoft Excel videos regularly on this channel. So without a delay, let's get started. I'm going to open up Excel spreadsheet. So from the menu, click on that. It will open up the new spreadsheet. So here we are on the home tab, and you can see here it shows the blank workbook. It's already selected. If you click on that, it will open up the blank workbook. So let me open up the blank workbook. Now we have a blank workbook. On your taskbar here, you can see the Excel spreadsheet logo. If you right click on that, and then if you wanted to pin this to taskbar, you can pin it. So whenever you wanted to open, you can have that option on the taskbar. Now, when we open up the spreadsheet, we have these menu tabs on the top, and you can click on that. So first is the file tab where we came from, and you can go back to the menu, and there is all other menu options here. Underneath the each menu tab, this gray section that is called ribbon, and each ribbon has different groups. So for example, this home ribbon has a font group, this clipboard group, the alignment group. If the group has a more option than showing up here, then you will see this symbol here, and if you click on that, it will open up the new window, and it will have a more options on that. Underneath the ribbon, you see here it's A1, and this is called, if I hover over it, you can see here it says that it is a name box. So name about what? Name about each cell. So on the spreadsheet, you see this series of cells. So that is called cell, and each cell has its address. The address comes from the column, and each column has the name by their letter, and it also comes from the rows. So these are the rows, and currently I am on the cell A1, which comes from A column and first row. If I use a control key and use a down arrow, I am now on the last cell of that column, and you can see here there is more than 1 million rows. So each sheet has more than 1 million row. Now I'm going to use a control key and up arrow, so I'm in first cell now. And same way, if I click control and the right arrow, I'm on the last column now. And in each sheet, there is more than 16,000 columns. So more than 16,000 columns and more than 1 million rows sheet has. You can see here this is a sheet 1, and you can double click it and you can give a name by just like that. If you wanted to add spreadsheet, you can click on this plus symbol and you can add more worksheets. Now, if I have some values here, if I wanted to write something here, let's say I wanted to put it 1, 2, like that, I just straight away need to type in what I wanted to write there. You can put it anything you want. And if, let's say if I put it 3 here and I wanted to undo that, you can use the control and Z, and you have that previous value here. If you do control Z again, then that also gone. So you can undo by using control Z. That is the shortcut for that. Now, if I wanted to add these two cells, then if I click on the third cell is equal to, then if I use a sum function and I need to give a numbers in it by using the round bracket, if I select this and this cells A1 and A2 and close the bracket, then I have sum of that. As you can see here, after using the function, when I was using it, it was showing that this text here. But after using it, it shows in here by when I click on that, and the result of the sum function, it shows here. If I click on this cell, then it shows the same value on cell and on the formula bar. So this is the formula bar, and here you can see there is insert function button. You can use that as well. If I use this, then I can see what function I use, so I have that option. But for example, if I click on blank cell and if I use this button, now it is looking for any function to choose from, so I can choose anything of my choice. You have here most recently used function drop down menu. You can see that it has lot more functions here, and if I click on all, I have lot of functions here. You can see all the functions by their category here as well. Now we have these three cells filled with the values. When I click on any cell, you can see here that it shows little square here, and when I hover over, there is a plus sign. If I drag that, it now enters the value accordingly. So 1, 2 and 3, and then it shows me 5 because it's adding A2 and A3 cells. A2 and A3. Why A2 and A3? Because in the previous one, I used previous two cells and there was a sum. So when I drag like this, it just copies that formula. So I use previous two cells. So in this cell, it also used previous two cells, A2 and A3. In this one also, the previous two cells, A3 and A4. So that is way it copies the value to the other cells when you drag it. If you have a value like January, and if I drag that, you can see here it gets all following months here. If I have a quarter 1, and if I drag this, then you can see here it shows me quarter 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then again coming back to quarter 1, 2, 3 and 4, because quarters goes up to 4, and so Microsoft Excel is smart enough to understand the pattern. If I put it here week 1, and if I drag like that, it gives me the following week numbers in it. So that is the fill function. If I put it here a 10 and then 30, and if I select both of these and drag this, then see what happens. It understands the interval between two and it copies that interval in the following cell. So 10, and then I don't have 20, I have 30. So after 30, I will not have 40, I have a 50. There is no 60 and then 70. So it understands an interval as well. So for example, I have this string here, these numbers here, and if I put it my other numbers here like this, and let me again drag the interval. So I have similar numbers there as well by understanding the interval. Now let's say if I use here a sum function and I use my previous two cells sum and enter. So I have my previous two cells sum here, and if I drag this sum now, so it also sums, gives a sum of previous two cells on each column. So this is the adding function Microsoft Excel does itself. Now let's say if I have any text here in this cell, then I don't have any pattern, and so just will copy it. So that is about adding and filling. Now you can see here I have this count it shows, which has a 9. So here you can see I have 9, and because I selected this cells, it shows the count 9. If you right click on that, you can have other functions as well. You can choose that. If I select it, you can see now, because they are numbers, you can see other functions here, like average of these three, count of these three, min, max, and sum. So you can get that from here. Now if you wanted to save this Excel workbook, then click on this closing button, then it will allow you to save. You can change the name here as well. Otherwise the by default name is book 1, which is workbook 1. Also when you select the multiple cells like this, then it becomes a range. So, and how you define a range? So for example, if I select this, because I use sum and use my two cells, so more than one cell, then it specified the range like this, one cell and this cell. Let's say for example, if I wanted to sum round bracket, and if I use all of these numbers, then I can go to those cells and drag it. Then it gives me a range here, H7 to M7. So all of this, and if I enter, so that is called range in Microsoft Excel. So guys, this is about the introduction to the Microsoft Excel. If you like the content of the video, then please comment, like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.